Hello, friends. Hello, family. Hello, listeners. Hello, colleagues. Welcome back to another episode of the Platinum Business Break Podcast. And we are your go-to source for insights, strategies, and expert tips that help businesses thrive. Hey, and I'm your host. I'm Dan. And today we're going to talk about a topic that's really exciting. So if you're in private equity or venture capital, you need to listen. And today it's season 5, episode 64, how to maximize business value and acquisitions using leadership, DISC assessments, change management, in the Platinum process. All of that is from Platinum Business Consulting. Really what we're saying is how can Platinum Business Consulting help PE or venture capital realm when they're looking at buying companies. And when I say private equity, I also lump venture capital into that, okay? But PE firms often focus heavily on financials, balance sheets, EBITDA multiples when making deals. But what really determines the success of post-acquisition, well, it's your leadership team. It's the alignment. It's cultural integration. It's operational efficiency. Are the legacy employees, are they on board? So today we're going to break it down. We're going to frame this up with the great wealth transfer and how private equity plays into that. We're also going to talk about why so many acquisitions fail due to leadership and culture misalignment. We're going to talk about how our Platinum process can ensure a smooth transition and scalable growth. We're going to talk about the role of DISC personality assessments and evaluating the leadership team before and after the deal, and then how to handle change management and get legacy employees on board with new ownership. All right. Now, so stay tuned because at the end, I got a free offer, those of you in private equity. Okay. So let's get into it. All right. So first of all, let's talk about the great wealth transfer. All right, the great wealth transfer, some of you might have heard this, it's estimated to reach around $84 trillion by 2045. And that's creating a significant opportunity in the private equity and venture capital firms, especially in the space of business acquisitions and generational transitions. The mass retirement of baby boomers, many of whom are small to medium-sized business owners, is fueling an unprecedented wave of business sales, transitions, and consolidations. And here's how private equity are looking to capitalize on this trend. So first, surge in business acquisition. So many of the businesses owned by baby boomers are profitable, but lack succession plans. All right. So more than half of those business owners are over the age of 50. So many firms will need buyers in the coming years. Okay, so this is going to be a huge, huge opportunity for private equity or venture capital. Okay, number 2, roll-up strategies and industry consolidation. Private equity firms are actively using roll-up acquisition strategies where they buy multiple businesses in a fragmented industry, consolidate them into one. For example, that could be like HVAC or roofing contractors, something like that, where they're looking at a market and they're going to buy several, roll them up into one brand or one unit. Okay, that is really huge. Number 3, opportunity in underpriced deals. Unlike the traditional startups like the venture capital folks do, many of these businesses are low tech, high margin, and undervalued relative to their revenue and profitability because baby boomers often built businesses for cash flow rather than scalability. So this is a huge opportunity for private equity. All right. The next one, venture capital shifts to alternative growth strategies. A lot of firms are looking at legacy businesses and injecting technology to modernize them. So with AI, automation, and all this stuff, they can be transformed into a more scalable, technology-driven operation. So that significantly increases the valuation. But there are some potential challenges. Not all businesses are worth acquiring. Labor shortages and leadership gaps. Again, this is kind of what we're talking about is not only the leadership that's there, the leadership that's going to be after the acquisition, and then valuation mismatches and people, culture, and operational issues. All right. So with that, the great wealth transfer represents one of the biggest opportunities in private equity and venture capital. Those who can identify the right businesses, implement modernization strategies, and create scalable operations stand to generate a lot of return. So this is huge. So let's talk about the hidden risks. And again, I'm just going to say private equity, and I also, we could roll venture capital into that. So the hidden risks in private equity acquisitions. So here's some statistics. Did you know that 70 to 90% of M&A, that's merger and acquisition deals, fail to achieve expected synergies? And that's according to Harvard Business Review. Why is that? Leadership gaps, cultural resistance, and inefficient processes. So here's some more sobering statistics. 60% of failed deals cite culture clashes as the primary cause, and that's according to McKinsey and Company. Only 14% of employees feel that their company's leadership is effectively driving business strategy. That's according to Gallup. And the last one, 85% of business failures stem from operational inefficiencies and leadership misalignment. That's according to Forbes. So what's that takeaway? You can't fix leadership and cultural issues with a spreadsheet. Okay. If you don't address them up front, they're going to eat away at your investment, leading to higher turnover, stalled revenue growth, and failed integration. That's where Platinum Business Consulting comes in. We can use DISC assessments, our Platinum Process Operating System, and a structured change management strategy to help make that acquisition much, much more profitable. All right, so let's talk about, real quick, the Platinum Process. This is your private equity success framework. We developed the Platinum Process, which is really an operating system, a proven framework designed to optimize business post-acquisition, ensuring that they're scalable, efficient, and makes it more valuable. All right. Built on years of experience and best practices, it provides a clear framework for optimizing leadership, communication, processes, and team performance. Whether you're scaling up, facing operational inefficiencies, or struggling with alignment, our Platinum Process equips you with the tools and strategies to create high-performing, world-class organizations. So why does that matter to a private equity firm looking at an acquisition? It's improved EBITDA and revenue multiples, eliminates leadership and operational bottlenecks, and ensures a smooth post-acquisition transition. Okay, we can help with that. So what are some best practices for private equity firms when they're looking at buying companies? So one is pre-acquisition leadership and cultural due diligence. Okay, before acquiring a business, you need to go beyond the financials. Assess the leadership teams using our Maxwell DISC assessments. Why is that? People issues derail more deals than anything else. And you know this if you're in private equity. Gallup survey, basically, if you look at the disengagement, I'm not going to go knee deep into that, but most of your employees or potential employees when you're looking at a firm are disengaged or actively disengaged. I mean, it's something like 70%. Basically what that means is they're just doing enough to do their job. Whereas something like 17%, they're sabotaging the business either intentionally or unintentionally. So that is a huge, huge thing you need to be concerned about when you're looking at buying a company. So our Maxwell DISC assessments reveal decision-making styles, leadership fit, and potential conflicts. Because here's the deal: during the valuation process, all the books look good, all the floors are clean, everything looks great. But do you really know if there is conflict within leadership? Because a lot of times with these deals, you're expecting leadership to hang in there for a few years to make sure it goes well. And if there is dysfunction, if there is chaos, if there's misalignment, if there's wrong people in the wrong seats, it's going to be tough, and you're not going to get your return, or you're not going to get the, bang for your buck that you thought you were going to get when you acquire the company. All right. The second thing is change management. You want to get the legacy employees on board. And I've seen this a bunch. Okay. Or one company buys another company, a larger company buys a smaller company. The legacy employees, they feel totally left in the dirt. They don't know what's going on. So you have to implement a structured communication plan to prevent resistance and disengagement. So why is this important? 70% of employees experience anxiety and job insecurity after an acquisition. That's 7 out of 10. Companies with structured change management programs are 6 times more likely to meet business objectives. And that's by a Prosky study. Says both from the same. So what you need to do is identify influential legacy employees and position them as change ambassadors. Train the new leadership in effective change communication and avoid cultural clashes. You got to do that on the front end, folks. If you don't do that, it's going to be disaster. I've seen it. All right. Number 3, the next one, post-acquisition growth. You got to align leadership and sales with business goals. So what we could do is we'd use our Maxwell DISC personality assessments to align the sales team and increase close rates. Basically, it's behavior-based sales training. And plus, we want to make sure all the salespeople are really salespeople. So why is that? 85% of sales successes are tied to emotional intelligence and adaptability. Now, that's according to the Harvard Business Review. DISC-based training boosts revenue by 30% by aligning sales styles with buyer preferences. So some of the training that I've been involved with is, like question-based selling, process-based selling, commitment-based, whatever it is, whatever the program of the day is. But the one thing that all these sales systems or processes don't take into account is the personality. You got to look at your personality and the personality of the buyer, and you have to make sure those match. You have to match your personality to that one or be aware of it. That is what the DISC behavior-based sales training is all about. So a best practice would be to implement our behavior-based sales training for sales leaders and frontline reps. We also have an assessment that could determine whether someone is good manager material or good rep material, all right? That is worth its weight in gold. All right, so what are some key takeaways? I just kind of went through a lot of information in a short amount of time, but I think it's really important that you understand that there is an opportunity on the soft side or soft skills when you're looking at private equity deals. Okay, private equity firms that focus on leadership, team alignment, and operational processes typically outperform the market. So what would be some key actions? So you want to use DISC personality assessments during due diligence to de-risk investments. You want to implement our Platinum Process Operating System to ensure operational scalability and stability. You want to align leadership teams using our DISC-based training and coaching. You want to optimize sales and revenue strategies before the exit. And the last one, you want to implement a structured change management plan to gain legacy employee buy-in. All right, so if you want to maximize your next deal, and again, if you're a private equity or venture capital, Platinum Business Consulting is your trusted partner for DISC personality-based leadership development, sales training, and our patented Platinum Process Operating System. All right. As I mentioned at the front end, I had an offer for you. So if you want some more information, go to our Helping Private Equity section of our website, and here is the link below. It's platinumbusinessconsulting.com, platinumbusinessconsulting.com. Go to the Helping Private Equity section, and there is a form. Fill out that form, and we'll send you our free report. And the free report is called Private Equity Guide to People and Culture Due Diligence and Post-Acquisition Performance. While financial metrics are closely analyzed, this report dives into one of the most overlooked areas of due diligence, that's people and culture. This element can make or break an acquisition. Just some quick bullet points to kind of make you start thinking. If you're in private equity or venture capital, there's more than just the financials. Okay, it's the people side, and that's what we could help you with. We could save years of heartache, headache, and just terrible misery. All right, so connect with us at Platinum Business Consulting or reach out for a free strategy session or discovery call. Let's find out if there's a match. Because again, you guys are really good at the numbers. You're good at the financials and the EBITDA multiplier and all that kind of stuff. But what most private equity firms and venture capitalists, they're not looking at the people. The people make it happen. And if we can make sure the people part is solid, the culture part, all right, that is what we're talking about. And the leadership part too. You got to have strong leaders, especially after an acquisition, and make sure everything goes. I just can't think of a single acquisition that I have seen or been involved with in the last 20 years that has gone well. And it's all because of the people and leadership. That's all I'm saying. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I think this is valuable and could help make your acquisitions much, much more profitable. All right. So that's it for today's episode. If you found this valuable, please share with your network, leave a review, or subscribe for more business insights. Until next time, remember, great businesses aren't just built on numbers. They're built on leadership, culture, and processes. And that's how we can help you. All right. So thanks again for watching. Thanks again for listening. And we will see you next time.